This is Breaking the News. I'm Janice Shortle. Congressman Tom Emmer facing some backlash tonight for what he said this week about the Somali community. Ian has the video of what he said that's sparking the criticism.
Please welcome our good friend, Congressman Tom Emmer of Minnesota.
Representative Tom Emmer facing backlash for comments made on Capitol Hill Thursday.
I just said to Sally when I was coming up here, she put great talking points together for me, and I said, do you mind if I go rogue?
Speaking to the Faith and Freedom Coalition's town hall, Emmer discussed Minnesota and crime that's happened here. His focus quickly turned to immigrants and assimilation.
They let immigrants who come to this country not wanting to assimilate lie, cheat, and steal from them our money. Guess what? There is nothing racist about calling out a criminal.
But it was later in his remarks that as Emmer facing criticism, the congressman telling people who don't assimilate to get out.
We celebrate everyone's culture. We're happy with that, as long as you are an American. Celebrate your culture. I don't care. Italian, Polish, Somali, okay? But they don't assimilate. And if they don't assimilate, then they should go the hell back to where they came from.
I'm disappointed with the congressman.
Jaylani Hussein is the executive director of the Council on American Islamic Relations for Minnesota. He says Emmer's comments are hurtful and unacceptable.
For a congressman who understands the Constitution of the United States and how that operates, to just blatantly target a community, it's unacceptable. I've lived here for all of my life now. I'm as Minnesotan as you can get. I deer hunt in Minnesota. I do all the. So what is he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. I think other than being racist against Somali Americans.
He might be right about this, but only in a surprising way. The indispensable Alpha News has reported that Jaylani Hussein is running a healthcare business out of his home. His home is on the business license. The address on his home is his home address. At least his name used to be on the license, but within days of Alpha News' report, his name was taken down. But the address and familiar business contacts remain. The name Fardousa Aiden Hassan remains on the license. Aiden Hassan was Jaylani's consultant in his other business, Zila. But this business's website was also taken down within days of Alpha News' report. Jaylani has not responded to Alpha News' request for comment, but has instead begun what looks like a cover-up.
A Dakota County spokesperson confirmed to Alpha News that a request to remove Jaylani Hussein from a taxpayer-funded adult foster care license came the same day Alpha News contacted Hussein for comment about his role in the program, which received more than $110,000 in state reimbursements over a 6-month period. Payment data obtained by Alpha News from DHS shows the adult foster care program received more than $110,000 in taxpayer-funded reimbursements between August 2025 and February 2026. On April 29th, Alpha News emailed Jaylani Hussein about his role in the program, including how he balances operating a home adult foster care program with his role as executive director of the Council on American Islamic Relations, CARE Minnesota chapter, as well as running Zila Consultants, a business he created to develop and offer cross-cultural training workshops on East African cultures that listed the other individual on the foster care license, Fardousa Aden Hassan, as a consultant. Hussein did not respond to those questions. The Zila Consultants website also appears to no longer be online, another change that occurred after Alpha News' inquiry. As Alpha News previously reported, Hussein, the longtime executive director of CARE Amen, was until recently listed as a license holder for an adult foster care program alongside co-licensee Hassan, according to state records. While Hussein's name and phone number have been removed from the license record, the Rosemount home address listed for the foster care program is the same address listed for Hussein on multiple unpaid parking tickets reviewed by Alpha News. Screenshots obtained by Alpha News show Hussein's name listed alongside Hassan on the license prior to the change. The phone number previously listed on the license record also matched the number used for Hussein in multiple CARE press releases. According to Dakota County property records, Hassan is listed as the owner of the home. Hussein has been an outspoken voice in Minnesota's fraud debate, frequently criticizing what he describes as bias against the Somali community. However, Alpha News found no public instance in which Hussein disclosed his own role as a license holder of a taxpayer-funded program that collected more than $110,000 while publicly commenting on similar programs under scrutiny. Alpha News asked Hussein why his name was removed from the license but did not receive a response. No allegations of wrongdoing have been made against Hussein, Hassan, or the foster care program.
Hussein says he does not know what Congressman Tom Emmer is talking about. Yet here he is, somehow close enough to a taxpayer-funded home health care business in exactly the kind of sector that has drawn so much scrutiny that when I called the number on the license, I reached his voicemail. CARE appears on television hundreds and hundreds of times a year, but when uncomfortable questions point back to CARE's own leadership, the TV's curiosity suddenly disappears. And that brings us back to Hussein's own phrase. He says he is as Minnesota as it gets. Once, that might have brought to mind Rocky and Bullwinkle, the Purple People leaders, Bob Dylan, Hubert Humphrey, lakes, snow, and a certain Midwestern modesty. Today, and I am very sorry to say this, Minnesota also brings to mind taxpayer-funded fraud scandals, especially in social service and healthcare programs connected to parts of the Somali community. So perhaps Jaylani Hussein is right. A prominent activist denouncing scrutiny of Somali fraud while appearing connected to a taxpayer-funded home healthcare business in Minnesota may be, in its own odd way, about as Minnesota as it gets.
I deer hunt in Minnesota. I do all the. So what is he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about.